YouTube, what up, man? It's your boy AD. I'm back with another video. As you can see, we are live. Battlefield 6 is here. We've gotten through the first weekend officially. I'm recording this Monday night. It'll be out Tuesday morning. So if y'all seen this, man, be sure to leave a like. Let me know how y'all feel about Battlefield 6 if y'all have gotten it so far. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/AyeDeon. We live stream every single morning on Twitch. Let me be your favorite morning streamer. Start your day off right. You know what I'm saying? Now, as you can see, we're on some TDM now. I play literally every mode on here. I haven't played no other mode. I do custom search and just select all of it, all the maps, everything. And we just play the games. Currently, y'all know me, I'm a support guy. You know what I'm saying? So I like to make sure I'm getting my reses and everything else. We're currently level 46 on this weapon right now. Trying to go ahead and get it to 50, get our first weapon out the way. Now everybody else is kind of doing the bot lobby method, and if y'all need to know that, I can let y'all know in the comments or something if y'all want to look at that or something like that. But personally, I like to do it the old-fashioned way. If I can go ahead and grind out my weapons just playing the game, I'm just play it the way I gotta play it. Not to say there's anything wrong with doing the bot stuff, but personally, I've dabbled already a little bit. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to y'all. I dabbled a little bit, but I've gotten so close now. I'm just like, man, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna grind out the rest of it. Got up to level 42 without doing it. Got up to level 45 while doing it. So I didn't really do too much with it. Like I said, I dabbled. It's actually insane. Like if you do it the right way and you're able to level up everything in the way that you want to go about doing it. But as y'all saw, I'm already level 30 plus. I'm at level 32 right now as a straight up level for the game, just how much we've been playing it on stream. But hopefully y'all been enjoying the Battlefield experience, because I know I have personally. Everybody is like kind of indifferent, but a lot of the people that are indifferent are typically the ones that are coming from Call of Duty itself. And like I said, we're at level 46 on the weapon right now, the DRS IAR. Not a great gun by any means, but we've kind of figured out some attachments that can kind of help it out a little bit as far as the accuracy. Everybody, you know, is talking about the bloom that's in the game, and I definitely agree. Bloom is kind of crazy with how much that it is in the game, but also having a high precision on your weapons definitely helps as far as making sure your gun stays as accurate as possible without having the issue of the extensive amount of bloom. It's still going to be there no matter what you do, but it's a little bit more manageable and understandable when you do what you gotta do and get that up out of there. As you can see, I'm not missing as many shots as you probably would expect. And usually it's at ranges you'll notice the difference. Everything looks pretty on point for the most part. But again, every gun is different, every range is different, so you have to take that into consideration when you're playing the game. Like those ones, I feel like there was a couple of those shots that I probably did miss due to the bloom, which again, can't really do anything about it at the end of the day until they address it themselves and kind of figure out what they want to do. What they could do is reduce the bloom and maybe add more recoil to the weapons, because a lot of the weapons, virtually all of them, you really don't have to worry about recoil as long as you build it the right way. I am using the controller. As you saw, there was a couple bloom spots there. I'm using the controller. I'm using G7 Pro. You already know what it is, Game Sir. I will also say using a mouse and keyboard, if you got it, use it. You can do some crazy shit. Everybody talks about how there's not really any movement like that. Movement really isn't that bad. Everybody wants to play it like it's World Series of Warzone, super sweat, super speed movements and tack sprints and everything. This game isn't for that, man. Like, and y'all know me, I'm heavy on the COD, but this year I've decided I'm probably not going to be playing COD this year because I feel like I'm just playing BO6 all over again personally. So I decided, you know what, I'm probably going to do strictly Battlefield content. And I did say if it was gifted to me, if Black Ops 7 is gifted to me on PC, whether it be on Steam or Battle.net, or if it's CashApp, the funds, that I would potentially go ahead and stream it and make content for it. As of right now, I'm gonna be straight up. Battlefield's got me. It's got me hooked, man. I've been enjoying the hell out of it, win or lose. Really thoroughly enjoying the Battlefield experience, what it has, what's entailed to come into it. The Portal experience is about what you would imagine. People kind of come up with some wild shit. A lot of the wild that comes out of it is usually like COD maps, like people have made shipment for whatever reason. Like, I've always felt like if you're gonna make maps from other games like Call of Duty, you might as well play Call of Duty at that point instead of trying to make it a part of the daily grind of Battlefield, because it's not meant for it, personally. But everybody is different in their own way and how they choose to make their experiences different. I'm all for it. Just from the multiplayer experience though so far, it's definitely a greater step in the right direction from what Battlefield was supposed to be and has always been versus the 2042 experience. 2042 got better over time, and I'll easily say that because again, I played 2042 a good decent amount, and I feel like it got a lot of flack that it rightfully deserved at a point that it could have avoided if done the right way to begin with. But to say that, you know, it was the worst one out of the ones we've had is a bit of a stretch. I'm gonna be completely honest there. I feel like it could have been worse. You know what I'm saying? We could have, me personally, I wasn't a huge fan of Hardline, but it had its place in Battlefield with the cops and robbers aspect, and that, you know, was a good, decent selling point as well. See if I can get this res off. Man, I got y'all. If y'all see me out on the battlefield, man, just know if I can res you, I'm gonna res you. I got you. Got your back. Not bad. 19 and 10. Even from the conquest experience, tanks are tanks. You just gotta understand to play your role when it comes down to playing games like Battlefield. Battlefield is role based. You could be the greatest shooter of all time and all that good jazz, but if you're not putting in the effort to be better for your teammates, it kind of defeats the purpose, right? So like, let's say I go out and I drop 80 kills just on the ground getting shots off in conquest, but if my team and my squad aren't doing their part, whether it's getting reses, if it's painting targets, if it's destroying and blowing up things with rockets, with jets that are flying all over the place and the tanks all over the place, usually there's 3 or 4 tanks on the field at once, and you got jets and choppers floating around. If you don't have anybody on the team, and that's not even just your squad itself, but your team that can take those out, 9 out of 10 you're probably gonna lose. Now, a lot of people like myself, I love to win the game, but if ultimately I'm having fun, I'm leveling up guns, I'm coming up with new ways to play the game, I'm learning how to fly choppers, I'm learning how to drive tanks, learning how to aim better. There are so many different aspects of the game itself that make it that much more enjoyable, as long as you don't overdo it and don't overthink it. When you get to the point of trying to make the game so much like Call of Duty, you're pretty much putting yourself in a situation to just be going to play Call of Duty at that point. You can look on Twitter and there's a lot of complaints, some valid, some very understandable, and then there's ones where you just know, okay, you want it to be like Call of Duty. If that's where you're at and your thought process is to make it like a Call of Duty and take aspects of Call of Duty to make it into that, you're playing the wrong game. Just play COD. I mean, to me, that's the most simple answer and way to fix everything that you've been asking for, is that everything that you want is already in Call of Duty. Play Call of Duty. You're already about to get a battle royale. Everybody was clamoring and all that good jazz for a battle royale to come back to Battlefield. We know Firestorm had its problems, but I feel like Firestorm was kind of like the start of what could be if done right. Warzone took off and everything, and great, fine and dandy. But when it comes down to moving forward into the future with battle royales, I feel like Battlefield has to separate itself from Call of Duty. Battlefield can stay in its own lane of battle royale while staying true to the BR type of scene, without going overboard on overpriced skins and things of that nature, I think you have something special in your hands with the battle royale for this particular game. With how the sniping feels, guns again, Bloom could use some work. Will not dispute that at all. Movement aspects are decent. You can slide around. You can dolphin dive. It's not to a point where you can't do anything. You're going to be a little bit more sluggish because this is more of a realism style that Battlefield typically goes for anyways. When you get away from that, then that's when you're going to that super movement, stem shot, faster movement, Call of Duty style that Battlefield is not trying to be. Play at the pace that Battlefield is putting it to you and bringing it to you. Yeah, there's so many different things you can unlock. There's still all types of characters based on the class that you're using that you can unlock. There's challenges per classes that you do have as well, weekly challenges that you can achieve. And then there's different assignments that can unlock other things on top of that. So like we've done our team play stuff, so now it's vehicle challenges. We did the first one. The next one will give us 5,000 XP by distance traveled as a jet pilot or as a helicopter pilot. And then you end up get kills in ground vehicles or get kills in or assist with aircrafts. You unlock a vehicle camo for this one as well. Unlocking different weapons that you may not be able to get, even though I feel like some of these weapons shouldn't be held behind this by using other certain weapons. It should just be based off level ups. I feel like would be a lot better option to go, but I understand it because if you're going to use a specific type of weapon like an assault rifle, it probably makes sense to unlock an assault rifle by using assault rifles versus using a sniper rifle to unlock a submachine gun. I feel like that's where those differences kind of come into play. I would try to show you my controller settings so far. It's been crazy. I did change it to where my right stick is what makes me crouch and go prone, and then my B button, which I have back here on my controller, or B button, circle, whichever you prefer, is what does my melees and my melee takedowns and all that good stuff. Now, I'm not going to go crazy and like explain everything. I'm just going to kind of give you a quick run through. Infantry aim sensitivity 45. Y'all can just pause this. I'm going to scroll through if y'all need to see some. The FOVs, aim ratios. I turn this off to be a little bit more controlling of my aim assist and the slowdown. The slowdown is very strong when it's boosted up. So I slowed this down to make sure it's not as strong as well as the zoom snap, so it doesn't just snap to people that I don't really want it to like that. I'm going to adjust these a little bit more as I go along. Probably lower these two just a little bit more. Leave the aim assist kind of how it is. If I need to lower it just a little bit, I can, but right now I feel like that's a good sweet spot. Same thing with like input curves. It's whatever game you're used to. If you just want to use what the game has currently, you would just leave it as standard. I use what games I was used to and I had fun with, so it's BF1, BF4, and I've been between that and BF5, so I can kind of go either way with that. I might switch this to BF5 just because I preferred BF5 at a certain point of how I wanted to play the game. Let me also turn this down just a little bit because I had it not that high. Same thing, I may end up changing my sprint and just making this to move up so I don't have to tap the button. I could just, once I start moving, it automatically starts sprinting. But the issue with doing that is you can't crouch, or you can't like walk around. You have to change that around. You may end up just changing this, doing double tap to forward sprint. Might be something you want to do instead. It really just depends how you want to do it. The cross slide I already have pretty much there. You just double tap your crouching. Infantry aim zoom, I dropped this down to 90 from 100. I turned the first from 1 times to my 3.5 down to 95, so it's a little bit slower. It's helped for my longer distance fights, being able to be controlling my weapons a little bit more. I had a 2.5 on that weapon I was just using. Take that information how you want, and we've left these pretty much how it is with the toggles, peak types, and everything else. Probably will leave this off because I don't really need gyro aiming at all. It's not something I'm gonna be doing. Flick look is kind of crazy if you know what you're doing with it. I haven't used it, but I remember seeing videos from the last game in the beta. That shit looks broke where you just instantly turn on somebody and it's actually fucking insane. So that's how I go about mine right now. I didn't do any like other crazy changes or anything like that with my, vehicles, targeting, choppers. I didn't change anything with the joystick. The only other thing I did change would have been the dead zones. which is in controller tuning here at the bottom. I turn the vibration stuff off, minimal, yada yada. I drop the center dead zone, the axial, which is kind of like how you want to be able to move your stuff around. So if this is lower, it makes it to where you're a little bit more diagonal with your aiming. You can be a little bit more precise that way. But keep in mind, doing that kind of throws your aim off a lot more, at least for me personally. So I wouldn't touch this. I would kind of leave this be the actual like right stick center dead zones, and left stick center dead zones is the main ones to be able to go as low as you can without getting any stick drift. So far this feels good for me. I may change this to 5s to make it a little bit more easier, because I'm also noticing when I go into my map, it's moving my cursor all the way up the map for whatever reason. Same thing with the right stick. I may drop this down a little bit more, but as of right now, 7 seems to be good for this game, at least for my aiming, because with this controller it's a little bit loose, so I may adjust these as I go along. Input thresholds for left and right triggers, leave them standard 0 0 100 100. World brightness, if you turn it down, it helps with the sun. That's bright as hell when you look out of windows, but the issue by doing that is it darkens everything else. Like in buildings, when you first walk in, it's very dark, so that doesn't help. Sharpness, I turned it up just a little bit just to kind of help seeing things from a further distance. And like I said, I also limited my frames. I have a 165 hertz monitor. I put it to 180. I usually don't even see that high anyways. I might get 130, 140 depending on where I'm at. Enable plus boost, that stays like that because I have on upscaling. I have DLSS on. Without DLSS, I'm lucky to possibly pull 90 to 100 on a 3070. My CPU isn't that great, so that probably explains a lot more too. On top of that, I do have higher RAM that's been put in here, but it only does but so much. Put this on quality just to keep it looking good. If you do decide you want to change it, you can put this on a performance instead, or I will go balanced. Quality has been pretty good. I'm going to try balanced out as well. And when we go to graphics quality settings, like I said, everything is pretty much low. I kept texture filtering at ultra because I want my gaming to still look good. You can turn this down to low or high. I kept it ultra for just the look purposes. Low. Everything here else is low. Lighting quality I kept on high because this kind of helps out with the sun from what I've been seeing as well. I may drop this and see if that makes a difference. I have 32 gigs of RAM, so it kind of helps me out in the long run because it's low on everything else. Local light low, reflection low, screen space reflections off, low, GTAO low. Again, that goes back to the look of the game itself. High fidelity object amounts I have on medium, but as you can see, each thing has something that it eats up on. So like this eats up on my GPU, which is going to my frames. I could probably lower this and turn this off completely, but again, it goes back to personal preference. Be sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know if there's anything else y'all want me to look into for you guys, if there's any other information you want me to give you guys. Me personally, this Battlefield has been fun. I've been enjoying it. Hopefully y'all have been into. Let me know your experiences down in the comments below, man. But hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like the video if you've enjoyed this. Again, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/AyeDeon, where we live stream every single morning. I've also been live streaming here on YouTube as well. So if y'all want to check out the streams, you want to be a part of the community, I got y'all, man. Come through, show some love, and I'll show it back to y'all. Appreciate y'all. Much love. Stay safe. I'm gonna catch y'all next video, man. Peace.